Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, Audi showing off ahead of the Geneva Motor Show. This brand new machine, it's the brand new RS Q3 Performance Edition. This gets all the RS treatment, including the 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 5-cylinder that now makes 367 brake horsepower and 343 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted through a 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission, and all the power is shifted through all 4 wheels, which means 0 to 62 comes in at just 4.4 seconds. Early reports that this vehicle is going to cost just a touch over 60,000 euros. That is yet to be determined as of yet, so we'll know a whole lot more come the Geneva, Switzerland show. Next up on the list, General Motors is showing off their brand new Powertrain Performance and Racing Center. This particular facility has been in the works for several months as the taping of this program, and is now officially online. 82 new folks work at this particular facility. This facility is built right side by side with the performance road car side that actually be working in tandem together. Now, the racing side is going to be working exclusively on all of the General Motors sponsored programs, including NASCAR, sports car racing, IndyCar racing, and drag racing in the NHRA. Now, the facility is also, like I said, side by side with the performance side, which doesn't work on just the performance engines in the road car industry, but also everything down to hybrids and plug-in electrics and even fuel cell vehicles. So all of these engineers are going to be working in tandem with each other, sorted through in this particular facility. Not to mention, out back, it's got a huge testing facility back there as well, that they can actually road test a lot of machines, and they have in the past, over the past several months. So, brand new facility, over $200 million it cost for this facility to be erected. Next up on the list, well, we've talked long and hard a lot about Top Gear, and some more interesting stuff has come in over the past several days, including one that was quite the bombshell. That includes this young lady, Shabina Schmidt, who has yet to be announced, even though Chris Evans on his Twitter account said there was going to be more to come when we talk about that last person they just announced as being a new presenter. Now, we pretty much know she's going to be involved in the program, at least in a tiny bit, because we've seen photographs of Mr. Evans, who was driven around by Ms. Schmidt in an Audi R8, which was vigorously driven enough that it brought up the contents of Mr. Evans' stomach. Now, just the taping of this program, we got a picture, and it's up right now on the Facebook page for Motor Authority, where they've got a picture of a big production crew having dinner, which is the Top Gear production crew. And if you look very hard in that photograph, you see Mr. Chris Harris. Fantastically happy to have this guy on the Top Gear program, because I think this guy is going to do an amazing job. These two have yet to be announced officially, but they're still the first choices, or at least the people that we're thinking that this is going to happen with. Especially with these photographic evidence, pretty certain they're going to be involved, at least in a fair capacity, if not a total capacity. And then, of course, there's Chris Evans. We've been talking about him long and hard, especially the fact that he may be quitting the show and all this stuff, talking about he can't drive and talk at the same time. Again, this is stuff I really think that the BBC is drumming up to make folks think the show's going to be terrible, so they'll tune in hoping for a train wreck or a car crash, and then the show end up being pretty good. And then if you haven't heard this announcement, this was a bombshell as far as I was concerned. This young man is going to be a part of the BBC Top Gear experience. This is Matt LeBlanc. You may remember him as Joey from the Friends television series from way back in the day. Now, Mr. LeBlanc is the quickest guy around the Top Gear track in the reasonably priced car, at least as of the old generation Top Gear. Not to mention he's been doing a lot of work for the BBC over the past several months, voicing over and presenting Top Gear clip shows over the past several months ahead of the new programs that are going to be coming out in May. So it's going to be interesting to see what his involvement is. He may be a little bit late to the party, but he may be a lot earlier than everybody may think. So it'll be interesting to see now that they may have 4 presenters on this program. And then last up on the list, we're going to talk more Top Gear, the U.S. Top Gear. Yes, Mr. Adam Ferrara announced on the old Facebook page that he claims that they are done for the next or the latest season of the U.S. History Channel version of Top Gear. They've finished filming it. It's going into editing. It'll be interesting to see just when this show is going to come out, because if the BBC version comes out in May, it'd be kind of interesting to see if the History Channel version would come out in that same fashion as well. But we don't have that as of yet, but I'll keep you in tune if I hear any more. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, like us over there, we'd appreciate it. The link's down in the show notes. Also, I'm going to do something. You know, the big game is coming out later today if you see this video as soon as it comes out. And I did something last year that I thought was pretty entertaining. Anytime any automotive ad, that's a lot of times those automotive ads go live right after they show them during that big football game. And I was putting them up on the Facebook page. I'm going to do that again this year if you'd like to stay on there and check them out as they come up. Or if you ever want to go back and check them out, I'll have all of them up on the Facebook page. The hard part is I'm going to be at someone else's house, so this may not work. But if it does, even if it doesn't work live, then I will end up getting them up there later on, so you can check them out over there. And that's all there was. Like I said, that was worth talking about. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.